So admittedly, every once in a while I'll do one of these videos and I'll gain more perspective after I've done it. So I get a more focused concept of what it is I'm trying to express or convey. So the video was about we are living in a current time of elaborate pastiche, which has become the function of AI to borrow, copy, steal, if you will, identity characteristics of popular artists in order to present to you something that seems on the level, current, popular, or even just as valid as art. So we're going to go back just a little bit here. This has been going on for decades in the music industry. The concept of pastiche, borrowing identity and characteristics from one artist to propel, or in this term, fast forward somebody's success by helping them embody some of the characteristics inherent in a popular and more successful artist. Again, this has been going on for decades, centuries, right? But in this case, AI is presenting the opportunity for creatives or people that consider themselves now creative, which I wholly support. If you know me or you've seen any of my videos or you know about my course, The Art of Creative Authenticity, I truly believe that every artist or every individual deserves to find something that they consider to be creative in their lives. In this case, there is the false sense of brilliance that AI presents to the end user, in which anybody can take anything, an idea, a concept, a derivative line, anything, and throw it into a generative platform, and the output will represent something that meets their need. For instance, I watched a producer on YouTube take a very low quality demo. I'm not going to degrade the effort. It was obviously that was the best he could do at that time. And I applaud that. He did it himself. He played everything, he sang everything, he wrote everything, he arranged it the best that he could at that point in his life. And that was 15 years ago. And then he took that and he threw it into a generative AI platform. And what it spit out was far superior in sonic quality. Now, was it better than the original? That's subjective. But what it did was it spit out something that sounded respectful to that genre at that time, 15 years ago. You see where I'm coming from? It's not elevating the effort to something that is new, that could be considered current. It was something that was completely derivative. In fact, it sounded just like Tony, which was even years before that. But this is what the AI considered his music to represent, based on his choices sonically, rhythmically, chordally, the phrasing, lyrically even. So a lot of people are using AI to put themselves on the level of current artists by prompting current references stylistically. So that's what you're getting right now. You're getting all these people that are not artists trying to compete in the same vein, in the same path of culturally significant current artists. That doesn't work, because what they're missing is the connection to the craft, to the art. And I, as somebody who's been in the music industry and technology for years now, and in AI currently, when you bypass the experience of becoming an artist, when you fast track your career, you haven't lived it. You haven't experienced it. You haven't embodied it. You can't reference those moments that triggered your success forward. You can't reference moments of awe, of true inspiration, of recognition of maybe a flaw or a fault that you've discovered in your pattern, in your creative process. Therefore, you cannot self-correct. So when you're creating an AI, you have no idea how you did it or what you did, because the AI doesn't even understand how it did it. It just does it because it's told to do it. And as I've expressed in past videos, it is never building upon your concept as you think it is. So when it presents you something, that's it. It's never going to present the same thing ever again. So when you prompt it with instructions to advance it with added characteristics or direction, production ideas, concepts, it is starting from scratch, from the bottom. There is no memory. It's not picking up where you left off or where it left off. It's starting from ground zero again. So I've said this in the past. It's going to give you exactly what it knows. And this is the comparison that I like to use currently when I have this conversation. It's a cover band. Okay? It's a cover band that doesn't do their own original material. All they do is they have a folder of decades worth of sample sets and sound patches and performance technology to recreate decades worth of genres. So you're going to hear Janet Jackson Control, and you're going to hear Maroon 5, and you're going to hear Ricky Martin, and you're going to hear Styx. I don't know why I keep using Styx as a reference. You're going to hear Boston. There you go. You're going to hear anything that was popular over decades. You're going to hear Prince. You're going to hear Madonna. But then you're going to hear Taylor Swift, and you're going to hear Bruno Mars. They know how to adapt and create something sonically that represents that era. So what you're basically doing is handing over a concept, a half-baked idea to a cover band. And all they play is hits. And they know how to make a hit song sound like a hit song because this is all they do. So you hand over your half-baked idea to the cover band and you give them some direction and they go, oh, so they want a song that sounds like this, has the lyrics like this, the characteristics, whatever it is of the prompt, and they spit something out and you're like, fuck, man. That's the Oberheim synth that's on that song. Ah, they opted for the synth bass there. Oh, and then he's going to, pull off some slap bass here in the bridge, just like that song that I love. Oh, and those drums are this. Oh, and they're using a Linn drum. Oh, and then the acoustic drums. They know how to do this. And you're going to be incredibly impressed. You're going to go, oh, these fucking people are brilliant. But is what they've output and delivered brilliant? No. It's derivative. It is pastiche. So this is what I beg of all creatives. Move your creativity forward. This is the only thing that is going to push the boundaries of creativity and push AI to the fucking side to where nobody gives a shit about AI because A, it has no connection to the artist. And as I've said, people don't buy art, they buy the artist. They buy the connection to the artist because of what the art represents and how they connect to that emotionally. Yes, I'm fueled this morning. I'm very passionate about this because I really feel like, even for myself, I'm understanding even more about the current condition of the creative mind based on what is being peddled, pushed, and influencing creatives all over the world with this fear, with this concern of their creativity becoming obsolete or replicated or replaced because of a technology. I lived through the birth of the drum machine. I'm a third generation drummer. This freaked the shit out of my dad. Oh, I'm not going to have any more gigs. That wasn't true. Because he used to bring synthesizers to the house. He used to build studios. And he was never threatened by a synthesizer like string players were. So, when you have lived through something that is disruptive in the music industry, beyond the concept of the MP3 and Napster and LimeWire and all that shit, that's the music industry fucking up as a whole, not seeing the future and not understanding technology. That's completely different. I'm talking about something that is specifically built to replicate an art, such as the drum machine. When the drum machine came along, what I did was I bought drum machines and I learned how to program drum machines. Because being a drummer, I knew how to create an authentic, a realistic pattern, the nuances that a drummer would present, how to build songs, how to build transitions. And I became one of the best drum programmers in that time. In Miami, in Nashville. I was hired in New York. I was hired to make drum tracks on drum machines, on MPCs, on Linn drums, on RX5s, on you name it. All of them. Roland, Korg, Alesis, it didn't matter what it was. I was programming drum machines. And then samplers. I was programming patterns on samplers, key by key by key, which I still currently do. But you see, I'm not allowing the technology to take over my creativity and push me out of balance and make me obsolete. Even in the current times where I am working in music AI, development and understanding and learning and teaching machines how to be more human. I know personally they can't, because I know all the inefficiencies. I know where it fails. I know all its flaws. And I can tell you, if you want to know the first flaw in AI, it's try to make it develop something on its own from scratch, right? Without any direction. It can't. It has to have references. It has to have influences. It can't create from nothing like you can, like I can. This is the point that I want to make. Now is the time to double down on your creativity and kick ass. Now is the time to bypass all the bullshit that's on all the channels, on all the networks, social networks, YouTube, all the doom and gloom, all the comparisons, all the tests, all the videos of people ingesting, their demos and what AI can do, and fuck all of that. It has nothing to do with you and the trajectory of your career. That I am 100% confident of. It has nothing to do with your ability to create a successful career for yourself as a creative. It is more challenging. It has been more challenging. For almost 2 decades, we've been stolen from. Royalties, streaming, you name it. It has all gone back into the hands of, the musical oligarchs, the biggest in the world. They own it all, they control it all, and now they're going to start controlling AI music because they understand exactly what I'm talking about. And they understand pastiche more than anybody. They understand derivative works more than anybody, and that is exactly what is happening. So the only way we can control or regain control of this conversation is to be more human, be more ourselves, be more authentic, be more truthful in our efforts. But you're gonna have to be a badass. I said in the past video, if you're a producer putting your stuff into AI and it's spitting it back out and you're going, fucking it wins, I give up, it's better than me, you're not working hard enough. You haven't elevated your skills to the point where you can recreate that. Now it might be the time, because you will be replaced. If you write shitty songs to begin with, you will be replaced. If you do shitty production, if you do shitty mixes, you will be replaced. It's just like in law. Legal firms are no longer hiring juniors because AI can do that. They don't need them. If you aren't valuable, if you're not providing something that is different, that is original as a creative artist, you're going to be the first on the chopping block. You're going to be the first to go. 7 million generative AI music files are being produced a day. 7 million. It's probably more than that now. That was the number 3-4 months ago. Probably closer to 8 million now. 8 million pieces of music are being generated and produced on Suno alone, daily. Where does that leave you? It leaves you to learn these tools, to elevate your process, to become more efficient in your process, and help you identify what your process is, who you are as an artist, what you represent as an artist, and who you represent as an artist. AI cannot do that. AI cannot create with intention of legacy. It can create an output with no soul. And that's it. So, the last video was much longer, but I think I feel that this is more direct and condensed to get my point across. We are living in a current excess of pastiche. People stealing the characteristics and identities of artists to fast track themselves to a point of associated success. This will not last. This aggression will not stand. If you know where that came from, kudos. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for listening. It's time to become a motherfucker at what you do. And just do it because you love to do it. Don't worry about anything else. All right. Cheers.